So today we're talking about something that's crucial to your dog's development and behavior: socialization. What is it? How can you start to practice socialization with your pup? So let's get started. Socialization is the process where you want to introduce your dog to different people, places, and things, ideally before the age of 8 weeks. They're taken so much so they can become used to different people, places, and things. If you see the dogs when they're older, they're barking, they're lunging, they're fearful, there could be several reasons, but 9 times out of 10 is because they were under socialized, which means that they weren't introduced to anything earlier on. Most of the time, you don't get your dog till after 8 weeks. And it's a training thing that trainers know, breeders may know, shelters may know. So if you get your dog and they're like, oh, great, we socialize them, A+ for them, because usually once you call and talk to me, we talk all about socialization and how that can impact your dog in the future. So what you want to do earlier on is you want to make sure that you take your dog everywhere. And if you're thinking to yourself, well, I do take my dog everywhere, but there's a way you want to go about that just to make sure that they are introduced to the appropriate things that they're going to be exposed to in your life, keyword in your life. You just don't want to bring them random places. You can, but there's a strategy to go about this. So let me talk to you and tell you the steps to properly socialize your puppy. So puppies are excited about everything. So what you want to do first is think about the things your puppy will see every week as an adult. You want to visit those places, see those people, see those experiences. And so right now, whatever month we're in, I'm not going to say it because we watch it later. You want to think about what your puppy will experience. Let's say the next few months. Start there. We won't get into the weather changes, but that makes a difference too. And also, after you identify what your puppy will be experiencing, you want to make sure that your puppy has positive experiences when you're taking them to those places, meaning that you want to do cheer, praise, encounter something new, or treats whenever possible. The more when you start to take your puppy out and you go around things, you want to bring treats or reward them so they can start to say, hey, when I'm, at the park, I get good treats all the time. When I see that person, I get good treats. And that way you're helping them feel good about things and not so much, fearful. And that's how you go about socialization. But if you think that your puppy is just a little bit nervous, you want to move away from what they are nervous about or fearful and give them a treat. And then when the distraction is gone or when you're further enough away, then you can, definitely, you're further enough away, definitely can give them another treat. But the whole point is, just like if we were scared of something and we see something, we'll probably move further away. We're not going to go closer to it. It's the same concept with our dog. In socialization, moving further away, giving treats. And I always say, take note of that. Write it down, because you just don't want to, if your dog was nervous at Home Depot, you don't want to take them back there. I'm not going to say ever, but maybe do short bursts where you're only going in for 5 minutes or 10 minutes and that's it. But we'll talk about that another time. But as soon, going back to the situation when you're moving your pup away from the distracting thing or what they're fearful of, you want to make sure that they seem relaxed before, you start moving forward. If they are too stressed out, you definitely want to just remove them altogether from this situation. A quick note about socialization and how it can impact the dog. I always talk to my families I work with about, for instance, you're like, oh, I take my dog everywhere. And then, my best friend comes over all the time and my dog's usually good with them. But then, now they're growling and stuff. And after further conversation, kind of find out your best friend dyed their hair red or got glasses. Your dog hasn't been exposed to that. So it's little things like that you want to think about. Umbrellas, different environments, textures, sand, gravel. Some dogs are afraid of night. So all those things that you may not think about where you want to introduce your dog to is more than just going to the dog park. So quick wrap up of the steps. Take your dog everywhere at minimal. If you don't remember how to socialize, take your dog everywhere. Look at their body language, see if they're fearful of things, but make sure you're bringing treats or something to reward them. So no matter where you're taking them, they're having a positive association with that. Other than that, I hope you gained some value and insight into how to properly socialize your dog now. And I will see you next week with